Hey, this is Todd with flickofthepick.com, bringing you today a special guitar technique, getting started with two-handed tapping. Alright, today we're going to get started with a two-handed tapping technique. It basically is just the beginnings of getting started. As we all know, Eddie Van Halen basically took this technique and made it famous with the song Eruption, and it's it's strong in his style of playing. He uses taps a lot. And so far, since Eddie Van Halen, brought this to the masses, everybody else has copied it and turned it into their own. But Eddie Van Halen did not start this technique. I think it was a jazz player before that, or he got the idea from Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, something like that. I'm not sure, but anyway. So let's get started with this. All right. First, if you're new to tapping, it's a very simple technique. It looks and sounds harder than it really is. Basically, what we're going to start with today, we're just going to do the basics, get started to get you familiar with it. And then eventually what you want to do is start experimenting and then build upon what you've learned here, the foundation. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to start on the 5th fret of your B string with your first finger. And then what you could do is take either your 3rd finger or your 4th finger, and you're going to put it down on the 8th fret of the B string. And what you're going to do is you're just going to basically hammer on like this. And then with your right hand, what you're going to do, either take your index finger or your middle finger to tap on the 12th fret of the B string. What I like to do is I use my middle finger because I like to hold my pick like this, and I can still tap and still have my pick in my hand to go right back to picking. A lot of players, Eddie Van Halen, they use their index fingers, and you tuck in your pick like so. So you have it like this, and then you tuck it in like that, and then you have that finger free. I don't like that. It just feels uncomfortable for me, but do what feels good to you. So, all right. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to need some distortion for this. All right. Basically what you're going to need is some distortion to pull this technique off. And what you're going to do is you're going to, like I said, your first finger on the 5th fret of the B string, and then you're going to hammer on with your 4th finger on the 8th fret. And then we're going to get this kind of emotion. That's basically what you're going to do. You're going to keep your first finger on the 5th fret playing it. You're not going to move it. And you're just going to hammer on. So that's what you want to practice first, is practice hammering like that, so you can get it familiar in your fingers. If you want to use your 3rd finger, or your 4th finger, whatever feels comfortable for you. But just do that and practice so you can build up the finger strength to pull this off. Because let me tell you, when you're tapping, it will hurt your wrist and hurt your hand because if you're not used to it. Okay, so let's get on with the actual technique. So now we're going to take your right hand and your middle finger, your index finger, and you're going to tap it down on the 12th fret of the B string. And what you're going to do is when you hammer down like that, then you want to tap right after you hammer with your 4th finger. So it goes like this. Basically, that's all you're doing, and basically what you do is you just speed it up. And basically that's all you do. That's what Eddie Van Halen does. I mean, it sounds really difficult, but in all honesty, it's very simple. It's just it's how far you're going to take the tapping technique and make it your own. Because there's players that use 2-finger taps, like Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Rob Balducci. These guys, they play 2-finger taps. Buckethead's another one. He does some really weird stuff. He'll do weird things like that. So basically, just use your imagination and take it where you want. But that's all I wanted to cover today. Is just getting started with the technique, and eventually you can start adding. You can move your fingers around as well, and do that. Basically, if you learn your major scales, your minor scales, you can start implementing that in there to whatever you want. But I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you have any tips or suggestions or any other techniques, please listen below in the comments. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and see you in the next video.